think living here in Berlin is like for you? What's it like to live here in Berlin? Yeah. Really? It's like that. It was at this very moment I knew I messed up. I think it's safe to say I had the interviewer bug enough to even interview a bird.
And speaking of interviewing, let's get into it. This is Found in Translation, where we sit down with an intriguing stranger in their own world in order to better capture their perspective, wisdom, and essence.
I'm 29 years old. My parents are from the Philippines, but I was born and raised in Germany.
Passion.
Love this word, passion.
You do? What is that word in German?
Leidenschaft.
Leidenschaft.
Main word in the German word Leidenschaft is Leiden, which means suffering. And there's a German saying like the German saying, you can turn the suffering into passion. Turn the Leiden into Leidenschaft.
So as an artist, what do you subscribe to? Earlier you were mentioning a bit about how you started out in one kind of way.
Exactly. I wanted to start with singing. In my singing career, I write my own songs. I've been to Voice even 3 years ago.
Really?
And then I started dancing, and then my career basically just happened by itself. I started taking classes. I started to get recognized by teachers. I started to sub-classes. I started to get my own classes. Instagram is a very huge factor of my jobs. I got through Instagram because they messaged me asking me, do you want to teach? Or I saw you, do you want to work for us? Or do you want to work for agency?
So you didn't apply.
I didn't.
They found you
Yes.
from you putting yourself out there.
Exactly. I never intended to become a dancer professionally, nor a teacher, nor an actor, because I was in the musical one time also last year. But this was also like the wrong thinking in the beginning of putting art into a small box, artistic. And I love that I do everything now, because when I started dancing, I knew I could train my stamina in singing. I love to sing while I dance, because later on maybe I can still sing and then perform.
Perform, yes.
And I love acting. Because also dancing is acting. You need to use your method acting in order to get the right feeling, to make it authentic.
Yes.
You cannot be sexy. You are sexy. You know? You cannot show sexy. You just can be sexy.
Embody it.
Exactly. Be it. For me, also one of my favorite images is a roller coaster.
Okay.
Life is a roller coaster.
Okay.
You've been given a ticket, and it's your choice to enjoy the ride. You're going up, and basically, if you think about going up, is the most exciting, not the exciting part, the most nervous wrecking part, because you don't know when it's going down and how long, how fast. But then once you're going down, that's the thrill.
Yes.
And then you go back up. But this is the life.
Yes.
And in addition to that, that's what I read maybe like a month ago in the hospital.
Yes.
This is a dead person.
Yes.
But this is the living person.
Yes, on the
Up and
the
down. Exactly. So if you're this, you're dead.
Yes.
But you have to go up and down to stay alive.
Who is Nate? And what do you hope to be remembered for?
Nate is a happy soul. Mysterious soul. A wise soul. And I want to be remembered for spreading happiness and awareness and love.
My mom is from Bulgaria. My dad is from Congo. Yeah.
So in terms of languages, how many do you speak?
Before I spoke more, but now I speak 3. German, English, and Bulgarian. But I do comedy in all 3. Because like jokes to me are not necessarily the words you use, it's the feeling you're trying to give, right? So I can use any type of word to describe a feeling to a person. So it doesn't matter what language I use. If I can describe the feeling with whichever words, I can describe the feeling, so I can do the same joke. Like with shit that I love to do and I know how to do, I will constantly put myself in an uncomfortable position in order to learn. To grow, yeah. Like, okay, I don't know how this is done exactly with the thing that I do. I'll do that. You know, like if I don't know, with skateboarding, there's like two ways to turn, right? Front side and back side. And some people are more comfortable turning this way, some people are more comfortable turning that way. When I started skating, I was more comfortable like turning one way, but then I was like, man, fuck this shit. I don't like feeling uncomfortable turning anyway, so I'm just gonna learn how to turn both ways, basically, right? And I do the same thing with comedy or with the other shit that I do, right? I get good at like one portion of the thing, and then I start figuring out like, oh, okay, like there's all these things that I'm not good at. I pick out one, and I just fucking stick in it until I figure it out. And then I'm good at that thing as well. And then it becomes three things or whatever. Yeah, I've always wanted to just learn, and I've wanted to get like better at shit, you know? And when we were kids, we had like with my sister, we did a little circus. We called it circus. And we would get my parents and my older sister to sit on the couch. And then I would present and be like, oh, now coming the amazing Francina. And she would come and like juggle or something. And then she would like juggle for a little bit. And then she'll stop juggling. And then go behind this little curtain, come out as the host. And be like, and now we have Dio. And then I'll come out and I'll break dance or I'll tell a story. Or like this, something like this. Like some little circus shit. Yeah, we did a show for our parents every time. And we were always like hyped up because we were like, all right, last time we did like 3 things each. Let's learn one more thing, right? So we have like 4 things and we surprise them with something and be like, now we can do this too. And they're like, my parents were always like, oh, they can do that too.
It sounds like you had parents or family that had the flame in you.
But we fed the flame in each other. Like it was always there. Yeah, that's why I love my people, man. My parents and my sisters, I love them to death. Like literally my dream is being able to go to them and ask them like, what do you want? And then regardless of whatever the answer is, me being able to give that to them comfortably. Who am I and what do I hope to be remembered for? I am Dio Katunga, Deokatunga, Katunga. Remember that shit. What do I want to be remembered for? Giving mad goodness and life energy to people in a way that nobody else has so far. And maybe that triggers a lot of people to do better for themselves in a way that they haven't figured out to that point in time. And I don't want to be credited in any way for giving them that goodness, but I just want to be capable of giving them that goodness. Take all the goodness.
Thank you.
Give it up back to your wonderful host, Maya Upchurch.
Is as a boutique concept store. I sometimes call it even like a community space. We do nails in the back and retail in the front, and we throw events from time to time. It all started literally with a lack of a place to get my nails done, a place to hang out. It just didn't exist. Like you had all these cool skate shops for guys, and there was not like an equivalent for women. It was also at the time that female DJs just was becoming a thing, and more parties were putting on women. So when we opened the store, we don't have them here now, but they're coming back. We had the CDJ set up. So everything we did was very much, or that I did, was very much from a place of like creating our own opportunities and our own space for, again, me and my friends. But that's sometimes difficult to scale, you know? So now I'm at the point where I'm thinking about how to scale the business. But it will always be in our DNA to like create a platform for minorities / women, female identifying, regardless of how we grow. This will always be a part of the vision, you know? And when I see a woman on the metro or on the street with long nails, I'm like, all right, cool, you're cool, you know? You immediately like say something about this person. You're into the same things I am into, and you appreciate the aesthetics or art, or because it's literally art. Like what these nail artists do is insane. It's like, yeah, modern art, I would say. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think for me, traveling is the biggest inspiration. I try to leave as much as I can, like short trips, long trips, spontaneous trips. But yeah, going out, also like partying in Berlin. People are so creative here, like the way they dress, the way they look. Yeah, just being out the house is where I get my inspiration. My outfit just has to be me, and otherwise I just don't come with the same confidence. And it's just some sort of understanding. Like a lot of people won't understand the way I dress, or some pieces I wear, but if they know, and that's for me. Like if you have certain sneakers or certain, jewelry or things, most people won't even notice it or won't even know that these are fucking super hard sneakers to get. But if they know, and that's a nice feeling. I'm Charissa, and I'm a connector. I'm a lover, and I hope to be remembered to be that person that always empowers everyone around me to be their best self.
So my name is Gillord, Gillord, and I am 25 years old now, just turned 25, and I am from Curacao, which is a very tiny island in the Caribbean. I am aspiring to become like a Caribbean Will Smith, but like I told you yesterday, there's already a Will Smith, so I gotta be the first Gillord. As a profession, I manage a co-working space, which, I have a front desk team to care of and members and stuff. So I get to do that on a daily basis by making their lives better or, more convenient and everything through being there, solving problems, but also being entertaining through them, which is something that's always my stage and how I practice. And then outside of that, my own businesses, as an entertainer, I do event hosting as MC, I do voice acting. I've happened to have a couple of works with Netflix and Disney and stuff in German. I am an aspiring actor because that's the number one thing I always wanted to be. I never thought of a different profession for some reason. But also I do, comedy, as in because you use that same talent, you're connected again with being on stages and making sure the crowd is entertained and engaged and awake, which is always very important. You got to make sure that energy comes through. And also I do music, which was actually my first, introduction to entertainment. Now I also create content for socials and stuff. So the main part of all of this, I enjoy creation. I enjoy thoroughly like having an idea, executing it, and be like, hey, check this out. That's the best thing. That's the thing that gives me the best feeling, the fact that I made something. The scary part of having such big dreams is one, they scare you. One, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I'm like, why do I say, I don't, nobody knows. I'm inside. I'm like, why do I say this? Can I actually achieve that? What the hell are you talking about, boy? You know what I mean? If I say, when it's over, you go to China, they know who Gillord is. And it's crazy to just say it or to think it. But I think it, I'm so confident in the thoughts, I don't see how it doesn't work. I always think whatever you say consciously is impacting your subconscious mind. And that's the reason I be talking to myself sometimes. My subconsciousness knows I'm gonna get there. But my conscious self has no idea on how. But the conscious self has a responsibility to say the things so the subconsciousness does not lose that confidence. You feel me? I am a boy from a tiny island with worldwide dreams, and I hope to be remembered for the guy that had the energy that when somebody's feeling down or even anything, or they're doubting or whatever, they're like, oh man, think what Gillord would do, right? And all by all, I hope my ideas and everything that I do help us become more civilized and, better with each other on the long run. Yeah, that's that.
It's funny, we've been friends for 10 years, but I haven't seen you in like 5 years. Yeah, this is like the last guy I saw before I came to like the UK. So
yeah, I've never seen him in Europe, and he's lived here for a long time. When I showed up, this apartment was bare.
Oh, facts.
Yeah, I had like a little camping mattress on the floor.
Yeah.
I don't even think you built this table yet.
No, the table wasn't there.
Oh,
everything was on the floor.
I mean, and it means something to have like the homie here to like see like also old like familiar stuff. Culturally, this is a bit of a quieter culture when it comes to some of these interactions, but at the same time, if you're like playing a sport, if you're clubbing, if you're doing music, you will find your tribe. You will find the people who are like, hey, playing basketball at 6:30 in the morning. You in? I used to play basketball at 7 o'clock in the morning with a group of guys who worked in the area. I just happened to live in that area. And they're like, hey man, like we do this every morning. Like, all right, cool. Like when it comes to music, like I have friends who go to 8 concerts a week. Like, and I can get on her vibe, but like 8 concerts is a bit much, you know? But you can find your tribe. And that's why clothing is such a good expression in New York. Like living in Berlin, the clothing, it's like all black. But like I remember...
When you're in Brooklyn, man, you see some shit, man.
Yeah, I remember when I went back in 2020 and I was like, yeah, these kids dressing weird nowadays. These kids have got a new style and I don't understand it. Yeah. But cool, like, it's cool. But then living in Berlin is just like, you know, all black every day. I think I'm a bit more indoctrinated into Americana in a different way than you are. So like, I'm like a sports fanatic type of guy. So like, if I see a person in the airport with like a buffalo hat, I have to talk to them. Like it's not that common, you know? Yankees fitted, whatever. But like if you got like a buffalo something, like I have to. I remember one time I was in an airport, I think in Paris, on an escalator going up, someone else was going down. And I was like, yo, Buffalo? He's like, yeah, man, from Buffalo. It's the city of good neighbors, just what we do. Yeah, I like that vibe.
I'm a writer, so I guess that's like the easiest, straightforward answer. Like that's kind of where I'm more private about my expression. It's fine. Like I did some acting and I used to do like lots of public like things and I was like class president and like I used to have that personality. For like multiple years I was class president. Like it was ridiculous. In the classroom I open up. In the classroom, like I'm a different. You see kind of all of it kind of come together, but nowadays, like in my private life, I'm like quiet. I used to shout a lot. I used to be like much more expressive, and that's what novel writing will do. Is like I've been aspiring to be a novelist for like 15 years now, and like just in the last 5, I actually started. So aspiring and then actually starting. I'm a child of factory workers doing a very impractical thing. I have 2 degrees in literature. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, that's not like the game plan.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, there's a level of like, I have to go with force and I have to be like, okay, I have to produce at some level. I don't have to become like the greatest living writer ever. I don't have to win awards. It's not about that. But it's like, I have to make something of it. It's like, I ask myself like, okay, you're a good artist. You can make something great. But that doesn't really do it, right? It doesn't actually, like, it really doesn't do it. Why did you do this? Did you change something when you did it? Did you forge a path,
It sounds like you're really concerned about legacy as well, in that sense.
Yeah.
The point is to do something significant, so that makes an impact.
Yeah, art and revolution are tightly connected, right?
He's revolution, I'm art.
Revolution, your art. Yeah. What is that for you? What's art?
Just creating, just not being afraid to create. Like having a good basis, like learning, but also like being able to freestyle things, to improvise, like to perform. I think since I was a kid, I've been doing piano. And from the age of 6, I just knew I had to perform. The show must go on. There's mistakes, but you just keep that energy. And I think that's why I'm art. My name's Tarik, and I hope to be remembered for leaving an impression on this earth of culture and sports.
I'm Kaushik, and I want to be remembered as a do-gooder. Yeah. I tried. I was in the arena. I tried.
So my name is Charissa, Chiderah, and Sunny is my last name. I get that often. If it's not my last name, it is. I'm originally from Nigeria, born, and I moved to Canada immigrated to Canada when I was 3, so I'm Nigerian Canadian. That's what I identify as. I run my own PR agency, got female founded in Berlin, one of the first, and I model, and I guess I would say that I'm like a creative architect in my life, and I also style a little bit, but my main focus is developing and running Sunny PR, which is my namesake business, my last name. And yeah, I founded it like now 9 months ago, and it's been relatively going well and moving upstream. So we'll see what happens in the next several years. I immigrated at the height of the pandemic, and everybody called me crazy. But I think in life, you have to go against the grain and you need to do things that you feel in your soul to be true. And like for the last 3 years of me living in Toronto, I knew that I needed to leave, and it took some time. But one of the worst times in human history presented itself as an opportunity for me, and that just showed me that I was meant to be different. That if I saw that moment and like, well, I'm gonna abandon it all and create a different life, that just told me that there's something in me that wants more, and it's out there, and I can get it, and I'm getting it. So go and get it. I think whenever I feel the most beautiful when I don't have hair on my head, and because I can see the beauty in my face. So like when you met me yesterday, I had a little bit, like maybe an inch of hair. And I felt like I'm not myself. But the moment I got a haircut or I shave it off, I'm like, oh, I'm alive. My face can breathe. The beauty in myself and in my beauties and in my features are radiating. And so I think that like what really elevates me is that doing that little ritual of shaving the head and then like looking at my face and just sitting with it and be like, you're a very beautiful woman. Because I think hair oftentimes is a very important thing for women and as for people in multiple cultures, and hair means very different things for different cultures, right? But for me, the lack of hair means for me someone that's unencumbered by the world or by the restrictions of the world. I'm just showing up exactly who I am.
Who are you, and what do you hope to be remembered for?
I am Sunny. And I think my name encompasses who I am. I'm a sunny, beautiful, compassionate person who is curious to life and the world around her. And I think I want to be remembered for giving or making people feel important when they're around me. I want people to remember me as someone that when they were in my presence, they always had a good time and they always felt loved.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I can affirm that you do that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Have you ever just come home after a long day and you're so exhausted, but it's the best kind, and you have the best kind of sleep, and you wake up refreshed and rejuvenated? That's how I felt every day I was here. The people I met, the stories and perspectives I heard, the places I explored, like it was all so life-giving, and everything wasn't perfect, that's for sure. But it just felt like I was in flow,
Straightforward eyes on the climbing, on your side, no matter the climate. Burning bitches in my third trimester. Shift eyes, they tell me you lying. Don't care, just lay them beside me. Hate time, chasing the rewind. Hate time.
I was leaving the city after spending 5 days there, but 4 of those days were spent interviewing people, and I was just shocked and shook and shocked at what we were able to achieve. And I say we because it was a joint effort. It was a lot of people coming together to help me and encourage me, and God was on my side. Huge shout out to everyone who took the time out of their schedules to sit down with me and share themselves while I was in Berlin. And thank you all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Be prepared to be engaged, entertained, informed, and inspired.